We normally start with some basic technique. At whatever level they are, always start with the basics. Even if you're an elite player, you always start with basic technique. Okay, so the first technique in the syllabus, I believe, is Osoto-otoshi. Yeah, so we normally start with something like that, or Tai-otoshi. And what I'm going to do is move really quick. I'm going to do a lot of techniques and then just give you an idea of how I teach that technique to children. Okay? I'm not saying it's the best way, but I'm showing you my way. Okay? You might have your own ideas, but I'm just going to show you how I would do it. And you need to get the main points across. Okay? About positioning of the body, positioning of the feet, the grip, direction, obviously landing correctly, proper ukemi. Okay? And then we'll move on from there. Right. Where's my uke? You're hiding now. You're trying to hide from me. Okay, so the first thing is the grip. Can't do any judo unless you're holding on to your opponent. The rules say you must be holding on with two hands. Okay? And the rules are really strict now on gripping. You're not even allowed to break the grips anymore, like you were before, which actually is a good thing. Alright, in my opinion. So the rules say you must hold on with two hands. Most of the kids are going to be right-handed. Okay, if there's someone who's left-sided, I'd probably take them to one side and do it separately rather than confusing everybody, because I'm actually right-handed, but I copied my coach who was left-handed, and he was demonstrating left. And when you're a beginner, you don't know any different, so you just do whatever the coach demonstrates. Okay? So, the right hand goes on the collar, and it's a high grip on the collar, emphasis on the high grip. A grip down here in your partner's stomach is no good. Most of the time, I don't know many throws that you can do from down here, because you need to control your partner's head. You cannot control his head if you're holding in the stomach here. Okay? So you need a high grip on the collar, fingers outside, thumb in. The left hand is holding the sleeve. Make sure you're holding in the sleeve, you haven't got your thumbs inside or your fingers inside the sleeve. Hold the sleeve here. He also has to get a grip as well. Don't have the other one standing there with his hands hanging down by his side. Okay? Both of you have to be holding on. So if he's right-handed, his right hand's on the collar and his left hand's on the sleeve as well. Okay? Now we're ready to begin. Okay? For Osoto-otoshi, it's 2 steps. Okay? It's 2 steps. The left foot moves first to the side until it's in line with your partner's feet. That's the first step here. 1. Leave a gap here because your right leg has to come through and go behind your partner's leg here. That's step number 2. Okay? And then we're pulling down on the sleeve, breaking the balance, pulling the head, and push. Emphasis on keeping hold of the partner. I'm still holding on to him at the end of the throw. I didn't let go of him. I need to keep control. Then we can explain why that's important, as well as safety reasons. I'm not able to do transition to niwaza if I'm not holding him. If I let go of him and I don't score ippon, he's going to be gone. There's no chance for niwaza. Okay? If I keep holding the sleeve, he tries to escape. Go. Come on. It gives me time. I've got control. It gives me time to put the osekomi on it. Okay? So controlling the sleeve is really important. Okay? Once again, different direction. Right hand on the collar, left hand on the sleeve. Later on, I let them practice it for a bit, and then we can start making some adjustments and corrections. I don't spend too much time talking about breaking the balance until later on, because then they have too many things to think about. But obviously later on you have to start talking about using the hands, pulling, breaking the balance. So as soon as I make the first step here, I've already started to use the hands to break his balance. Here. There. But they can't grasp that concept in the beginning. You have to introduce it slowly and a bit later on. Let them just practice doing the 2 steps. That's going to be hard enough for beginners to remember. Believe it or not, just remembering to do the 2 steps. Because I still have kids that I've been teaching for weeks and they're still doing this. For Osoto-otoshi. They're trying to do it in 1 step. Of course, when you try to do it in 1 step, you're going to be off balance. You're going to be countered. Okay, so you have to do the 2 steps. 1, 2. Okay, very important. Okay, 1, leave the gap. 2, put your foot on the floor, not here. Put the foot on the floor, push back. Keep the sleeve. There. His job is to do the ukemi. Good ukemi. That's his job. Not landing here. Not landing here. Remember, not landing on the elbow. They're going to get injuries to the shoulder and to the elbow if they start landing like that. They must get into the habit of landing on the back. The reason why they land like that is because they're trying to avoid going onto the back. They're afraid, in the beginning, they're afraid of landing on the back. They have to have the confidence to land on the back flat and do the ukemi properly. Not try to twist off the throw, because when they try to twist off the throw, then they start landing like this. That's when you start getting the injuries. Okay? When they try to avoid the throw.